When we look at the market, we can right now watch bullish divergence playing out. MACD initially tried to cross up, but it was slowed down by this support turned resistance. Now we are watching that the MACD is crossing back to the upside. Can we get a breakout here in Bitcoin? Can we watch Ether pushing back up to test these highs? That definitely would mean the price can break through that. That's what we want to see. But in the market you're watching, there are small cap, micro, meme coins. The cats, the dogs, the frogs, they are performing better than the other assets. And it's wild, but it's true. But you do have a lot of other assets which are starting to show a strong divergence, which are showing possibilities of a breakout and opportunities, and you have a lot of them. But most of them are not in those big cap arena. Very few are in there. So if you understand the market and you're looking at what is happening right now in front of us, we do have some optimism still relatively alive in the market after the recent panic sale. We do watch fundamentals evolving, gaining strength. All of those is great. But at some point, you kind of get to see things like this, which kind of pisses people off because they think negatively, right? But before we actually break all of those in, we need to understand the market is kind of showing you something and it's starting to slowly play back by the books. We had this thought process and right now we see that the price did that. Now it's starting to bounce back up. So slowly the market was showing us some things. We were on it. We were looking at it. We were trying to learn from that. And we kind of see, yeah, the average market is still basically down. So this thing doing a 10% day, staying in like the medium to large cap segment is a big deal because it has already done a 10x this year. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We've been going through a lot of different charts, opportunities, breakouts, what the market is doing. Especially that's important. Because remember, we had around $100 billion on the sidelines. Right now, it's slowly starting to re-enter the crypto assets. Why would I say that? Look at the volume here. It was like 10 billion. Now it came back up to 16. That's a good increase. When the price is down 10%, the volume came up. So some are starting to buy that. And it's not only in that region of the entire market. You're watching things like this. Millions of XRP departs major exchange for an anonymous whale. So they're also not moving into an exchange to sell. Rather, they're taking it out of the exchange to ride it. Most likely they buy and they hold. So primary thing for us becomes like, okay, do we have the momentum? That's an important factor. So on a shorter horizon chart, if you do pull this up here, you'll actually get to see this clearly. This is the 4-hour chart and you're slowly starting to get the momentum. MACD, the RSI, it's supporting it. But we slowly go back, zoom out on a daily, on a 3-day. We haven't turned bullish yet. So if you're on a macro chart and you're looking at this thing, you're like, okay, we're still negative. The momentum has not changed to bullish stance. Yes, we are at a support. That's actually a good way to look at it. That's cool that we are staying at this support. That's good. But breaking that to the downside would be a panic. A bounce back would be a huge opportunity. And most of us are here waiting for this leg to the upside because this was something we were waiting. We got that breakout and the retest kind of went into panic. So if this does not bounce back up here, that would not look great. Now, yes, to understand the macro market, we need to look at the entire altcoin market or Ether for that time being. Now in Ether, something is developing very, very well. on a 3-day chart. And I think that's something you cannot or you should not neglect, because right now when Bitcoin to Ether ratio, the run-ups is almost similar, that the money flow is getting into not only Bitcoin with the whales entering, but also the altcoins, right? So look at this. The market clearly shows you the fact that the price is clearly making a higher low at a time when the RSI is making a lower low, which is significantly bullish. It shows you hidden bullish divergence in the market for these 2 points. Now, it's not only that, it's showing you the hidden bullish divergence at a support level, which makes that a bit more significant, so as to say that, right? Now, if you're a pattern guy, when you take the Ether chart, you're most likely looking at this and saying like, okay, that's actually a rising trend line. If I plot this and the bottom looks like this. So if you do look at this, you would be like, okay, that's a widening wedge, broadening wedge actually. So which direction are we going? Did we complete the ABC, that corrective leg to the downside? Is it done? The momentum kind of comes in on the weekly. So huge leg downs, whichever we have seen before after starting the bull run, came close to the moving average, bounced off. Came close to the moving average, bounced off. And close to the top, which was like, after having the monthly reaching like the overbought territory, like here it would be what? Yeah, 80, 88. That's overbought territory on a monthly. Then you got a break of that 21 moving average on a weekly, which at that point is cool. But right now, we are nowhere near that overbought territory on a monthly. So you do have all the other indicators staying bullish. The current panic in the market is creating huge opportunities if you are looking at the right direction. So we were following some of them, the price structure, right? It's important to look through. If you are looking at the structure which shows you like this, and then we had a panic drop. Now, if that's just ABC, it's good. That was a corrective leg. Now you can follow this through. That's okay. The next 1, 2, 3 is going to give you opportunity to buy it here. Because remember, we always talk about this. Price, if it is going up like this, it would do these kind of moves. Whether you buy here and sell here, or buy here or sell here, you still make profits. But during the downturns like this, when you are at this range of the trend line, that's where you get to maximize the gains. So if you were in the market just 3 months back and you kind of missed out a lot of this run to the upside, we are looking at this, then right now the thought process is you kind of have another shot at this. Because Bitcoin actually did this like last time, a lot of people got opportunity. This one. Right now it's doing something similar. Prior to that, it was this region which created confusion. And if you do look at the trend lines here, you would actually have to put the argument, we are at that range. Yes, we need the candle close, we need the confirmation, all that's true. But right now you cannot neglect the fact that we have divergence. Now, yes, if we don't get a breakout here, that can get invalidated soon because that's on a 4-hour chart and the 3-day is still looking like this. What do I mean? This has been a range of support for this asset. The bottom was like 60,000. Right now you're at 64. Yes, that's a little bit above that range, which is good. But the moment we zoom in on a daily chart to see, okay, what do we really see? Is that really bullish? I mean, we need to understand that clearly. You had a lot of selling volume. There was a lot of selling. Clearly, sellers won that day. You had 80% of that buying, but buyers were not able to push up 80%. Right? The next day you had little deviation and a little bit lower selling pressure, which created way bigger selling. So sellers were in control, buyers were really, really weak. Now here we are, we have this buying strength, which was bigger than yesterday's selling strength, but that still was not able to push it back above 65,800. That's like, okay, sellers are not moving out. Yes, buyers are coming back inside this range. Each time the price is going that low, they are buying it back. But sellers are not moving out. So the shorts are piling up. So getting something like this again would make some sense, so that a lot more sellers come in and the price goes back up, kicks them out. But if it literally does this kind of a move, then that would be another corrective leg. So we don't want to see that corrective leg and then the 1, 2, 3 to the downside. If that happens to stay here and then start the next 3 leg, that's what we really want in price action. Now, look at this. Japan's export kind of give you an idea of China is still growing. The actual news, the perspective, even from some who have respect a lot in the community, was sharing like, okay, China is declining. But right now the news, the data shows a little bit of difference. That actually is positive for the macro economy. Now, you come on to what XRP is doing, the news, the narrative, the current affairs. There is no pre-trial conference because SEC dismissed charges against Brad and Chris. That's something to look at. That shows some more positivity on the fundamentals, the news. For the macro market, the optimism is still there. People are talking about big numbers. When I say big numbers, that's like, nuts numbers. That's another 10x from where we are. So Bitcoin started from $16,000 and they're talking about a 650. Well, that's a little bit too high. Now this kind of it literally shows you it's a positive news. Why? Because it's not moving into the exchange to sell, rather they're buying it and moving it out. So someone actually buying tens of millions of XRP to hold for longer is a good thing. Because this is one of the, being honest, this is one of the stuff which I really don't understand. Like, developers are so active now in this ledger. You have a lot more demand. You have a ton of fundamentals, utility, which is real life utility, not the proposed future one. Till the price is stuck here in this corner. Like 4.5 is way undervalued. But the trouble here in the market is irrational. The market can stay irrational longer than we can stay liquid. And I'm like, whoa, how the hell can I stay liquid through this cycle when the market is showing you, yeah, I'm going to go up at one point, but I don't know at which point. I'm like, okay, that doesn't actually look good, because on the other end, you're watching a lot of other assets doing better. You look at the normal fluctuations here and you're like, there are some small caps, the micro caps, which are outperforming the macro, the medium, all of those. And this kind of attracts a lot more of new money, the new retail guys into those. Remember, the volume is way lower. But yeah, it's decent. It's like $500 million. That's not a small amount. But if you consider that with Ether, with, big cap meme coins, yeah, that's comparatively very low. Now, yes, that's on the total market cap side of things. You go look at the total volume traded on that front, you'd be like, should I enter that? So you need to have that understanding of which area you're focusing more on, because that then gives you the clear idea. Say, for example, this is gold. It's actually going up. For what? Right? The news, the narrative is creating more volatility in here. The divergence is still valid. You're starting to slow a little bit down, right? So the daily chart is still showing you the divergence. We really would like to see, just like what we talked last time, getting a bull flag here, then popping. But that bull flag taking 2 to 3 months of time is all that we want. Last time here, before that here, we literally had all these good time when gold consolidated. We discussed through that last time, so I'm not breaking into that. But if you do look at the total structure of silver, of gold, on a macro, not the micro, on a macro, These are actually breaking higher. And if you actually look at the correlation with silver to the price of XRP, historically speaking, it has been really, really high. As of now, yes, we don't have it for sure. Right now, it's not breaking higher just like silver, but last time there was something in it. Silver did its rally a little bit before than XRP, which kind of gives me some optimism here because this guy is breaking higher, and that can show if we repeat history, we may have some. But again, I was waiting for that fib for XRP to break to the upside. But right now, what we are watching is a price coming back to the support. And that kind of kicked out a ton of levered trades. Whether you are at 3x, whether you are at 2x, it doesn't matter because the average most likely for most of us would be 0.6, 0.5 range, which we entered in last 3-4 months. For spot positions, yeah, I mean, we're still in gains because we've been holding this asset, buying this asset for a longer period of time. But what worries me here is that you're staying at the support, you're flirting with that support again and again and again. If we do see a micro movement to the downside in Bitcoin, that would not look good. Which means if Bitcoin is to actually just fake out, think about this. This guy is just about to fake out. It's going to go back up. Clear. Fine. Even in that case, this leg of a fake out can hit some altcoins because the bottom range of the wick here was 59,300. Now, it's not a huge drop from where we came to, which was like 60,900, but still the market panic in the crypto market looks so wild. I mean, we just saw another leg of panic in last 10 days. So no one really forgot about that. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking at any asset, whether it's a micro cap, whether it's a large cap, whichever direction you are deciding to jump into, you should look through where the volume is. You should look through the trend because you will actually see like some of these meme coins showing you opportunities, and then all of a sudden they would actually just dump on you, right? So look for the trend. Yes, some of these actually here shows you like it's a bull flag, so you may actually look at this. But wait for the breakout. The breakout, the retest, the bounce, the confirmation is what you really want at this point because the cost of not having confirmation right now in the market, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good because if Bitcoin just sneezes, altcoins here are going to get shot. That's the amount of fear, that's the amount of panic right now in the market. So if you are looking through these kind of things to get at the right time, which matters a lot, follow the SI family. Here you get all of this learning for the right assets at the right time for the entire crypto market, plus commodities, stocks, all that you have in your portfolio. You can join the SI family using the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio on Twitter. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet and you're still here, I would kindly request, smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider doing that. That supports the growth of the channel. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.